Jim Comey is in some big trouble, isn't he? My. Do you remember when he said this? And maybe you don't. But let's take a look at what Jim Comey said not too long ago.
Convict him, bar him from future service, have the prosecutors, the local prosecutors in New York, pursue him for the fraudster that he was before he ever became president, lock him up for the garden variety frauds he did there, but don't give him that center stage, that dominant role in our national life just down the street where Joe Biden is trying to heal this nation.
So lock him up, he says. Well. Now it is Jim Comey that himself may be getting locked up. He's been indicted, as you know, by the FBI today on making one count of false statements by the DOJ, by making one count of false statements and one count of obstruction of justice. NBC News says the charges likely stem from testimony that Comey gave on September 30th during the Senate Judiciary Committee, asked by Ted Cruz. I'm going to play it for you in a second. But this is absolutely okay. A lot of people are saying this is vindictive and stuff. It's not. This is absolutely what he needs to face. He lied to Congress. He lied under oath. He rigged and tried to destroy a presidency. He's a vile dude. Period. By the way, Clay from Clay and Buck put up a seashell thing. It's on my Twitter feed. I should have put it up to show you. But it said Comey indicted. He said, "Wow, that's a really interesting seashell formation. Did you see that?" Comey indicted. No, this is absolutely great. Let me play some audio that led to this whole thing. Here is Comey when he got caught. This is what he got caught for.
Mr. McCabe, who works for you, has publicly and repeatedly stated that he leaked information to the Wall Street Journal and that you were directly aware of it.
That's Andrew McCabe, the former assistant deputy director of the FBI under Comey.
And that you directly authorized it.
I can only speak to my testimony. I stand by what the testimony you summarized that I gave in May of 2017.
So your testimony is you've never authorized anyone to leak.
I'm not going to characterize Andy's testimony, but mine is the same today.
Which was, I did not leak anything. So he lied. We also have some other audio. We have Comey with Senator Susan Collins.
Did you show copies of your memos to anyone outside of the Department of Justice?
Yes.
And to whom did you show copies?
I asked, President tweeted on Friday after I got fired that I better hope there's not tapes. I woke up in the middle of the night on Monday night, because it didn't dawn on me originally, that there might be corroboration for our conversation. There might be a tape. And my judgment was I needed to get that out into the public square. And so I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter. Didn't do it myself for a variety of reasons, but I asked him to because I thought that might prompt the appointment of a special counsel. And so I asked a close friend of mine to do it.
Comey intentionally leaked his classified notes with a classified private conversation with the president, to his buddy who was a professor. The professor leaked it to, I think, the New York Times or one of the other type of papers, the WAPO or something. And there it went, and the crime had happened too. So he's busted. He deserves every bit of this. It's okay to hate Trump. It's okay to not like him. It's okay to root for his failure. But this guy literally rigged a presidential election. He lied under oath. He lied to the Justice Department. He lied to judges to get FISA warrant. Every single thing is rigged. And by the way, I just saw Peter Strzok with his insurance policy and smelly Walmart people. Peter Strzok just lost his First Amendment speech case, saying I was fired by the FBI because of my as a First Amendment violation. Totally false. And these are some sick people that literally are like Russia, North Korea, China, and use the power of the state to destroy us and the people we elect, to impeach them, destroy them, sideline them. And this is absolutely vile. Some people are saying that Trump pushed the timing. I don't care. The statute of limitations expires next week. So I'm glad this happened. This is exactly what needs to happen. And I'm in 100%. Let's also play Jim Comey. This is my favorite part because I didn't hear the whole soundbite. I pulled it, but I didn't hear it because I wanted to play it and react live with you as I play this. This is Comey. Remember his last live or last thing he put up on social media? I love Taylor Swift. I am a Swiftie. He came across as like a pedophile, like a pedo creep, scary dude who would stare at your daughter next door when she's out jogging or something. Here's Comey today, and in his creepy, weird mannerisms, saying, I got caught. Well, no, saying, I'm indicted.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. You're such a hero for leaking documents, lying under oath.
We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either.
You don't have to be on your knees if you go to jail. Now, will he go to jail? Some people say it's not going to happen. I don't know. All I know is he's been indicted by a jury of his peers. I love that. I think it's absolutely apropos. And if he's convicted of anything, I think it would be very apropos. I think he's a crook and a criminal.
Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant. And she's right. But I'm not afraid. And I hope you're not either.
Good. Don't be afraid. Don't be very afraid. Now you get to experience the lawfare. You get to experience the expense, the toll, mental toll on your family, because it doesn't matter how confident he's coming across you. The truth is he never knows. You do not know what's going to happen. You just don't. And this will haunt you until it's done. And nobody wants to go through this experience, and nobody should unless they've committed a crime. And I do believe he has committed these crimes.
I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it.
Since I couldn't rig the election and get President Trump impeached and ousted, I've tried everything with all my heart too, and I've encouraged assassination from him by having 18. What is it? What was it? What was the 86-47? Yeah. Since I couldn't encourage assassination, or couldn't get that to happen, and I couldn't rig it, I just hope you vote against Trump, whatever.
Which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial.
Sure.
And keep the faith.
Sure, you're innocent. And yes, let's have a trial. And I'm not going to panic if he doesn't get convicted. I'm just grateful that these charges have been brought and that it will go in front of a jury, period. I want to get on to the biggest story of the day besides Comey is not my homie. And Comey's got some splaining to do, is what I was saying earlier. And I want to get into the Dallas ICE case because this is everything that I've been telling you, everything that you've been hearing is not only true but even worse as far as how much of a left-wing crazed radical. He watched the Charlie Kirk assassination and he searched it for it, watched it a day or two before he attempted to murder ICE agents. He used and got the exact same rifle and ammunition that the accused assassin terrorist who killed Charlie Kirk used. He idolized him clearly. He used the same materials, and he meant to do the same thing and to murder our ICE agents. He used an app, and here's the fake news CNN app that I want to show you. Excuse me. This is what the fake news CNN app looks like. When fake news CNN showed everybody this app, I wanted to do something to fight back. See that? This app, this iPhone app alerts users to nearby ICE settings. That app, called Ice Block, was used by 20,000 people. Now it's being used by 100,000 people. And this terrorist used this app or a similar app to track and murder our ICE agents. In fact, they talked about it. Here is one of the Dallas ICE agents who talked about how this tracking app is real and it kills. And one of their officers are going to get killed. If my stupid mouse would be cooperative, I'll just hit it with my fingers.
Anyone who creates or distributes these apps that is designed to spot, track, and locate ICE officers are well aware of the dangers that they are exposing to law enforcement. It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target.
That's exactly right. Now, we also have one of the head people local at ICE, and what I like about this guy is that he talks about how people literally are going to be killed, and it's only a matter of time before one of them are killed. Let me play for you. Oh, here's Karen Bass promoting this app.
We have a rapid response network where everybody is alerted. If you see masked men getting out of unmarked cars, let everybody in the area know.
So she's telling everybody, use the app so that we can hunt down ICE. Now, let me play for you this guy here, Marcos Charles. This is who Marcos Charles is exactly who I wanted to play. He's the one who said, you're going to kill us. We are going to be murdered because of this app and because of people like Karen Bass.
The shooter used the ICE tracking apps. Anyone who creates or distributes these apps that is designed to spot, track, and locate ICE officers are well aware of the dangers that they are exposing to law enforcement. It's a casting call to invite bad actors to attack law enforcement officers. It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target, and this is exactly what we saw happen in Dallas yesterday. The media has been amplifying these apps even as we warned them it would only lead to more attacks on law enforcement. We truly wish we didn't have to say, I told you so, but here we are.
So that's it. We are going to be murdered. One of us will be murdered. And it's because of the media, and it's because of the Democrats, and it's because of these apps. And so this terrorist, who was raised in Allen, Texas, which is, of course, northeast suburb of Dallas-Fort Worth, where I live, and I've been based for over 15 and a half years. He also was living in Fairview, and his parents have a second home, apparently, in Oklahoma, where they've searched both. They got all of the electronics. They're still pouring through everything, but this is where they're learning today with all the electronics. Listen to this. It's worse than we described. And the fools on fake news CNN and on MSNBC who have been lying and covering up, saying, well, this could be a comedian. He could be joking around about anti-ICE to throw them off the trail. Yes, it's such a funny joke when you blow your head off after you try to kill people and you murder an illegal. Real funny. Here we go. This is the absolute worst possibility for the Democrats and for the media and what they've been saying and their lies and their obfuscation, and they're trying to confuse the issue when we all know it's radical left-wing terrorists and terrorism. By the way, you want to know how bad radical left-wing terrorism is? The left-wing Atlantic, the liberal, very well-known, very leftist liberal Atlantic magazine writing now that they found, quote, that left-wing terrorism has increased since Donald Trump's rise to political prominence from 2016. 2025, they say, indeed, marks the first time in more than 30 years that left-wing attacks outnumber those from the far right. Quote, the year 2016 was a turning point, they write, for left-wing terrorism. Trump's political ascent and the expansion of the MAGA movement seem to have re-energized left-wing violent extremism. 37 terrorist attacks from Democrat radical leftists in the past 8 years alone. 37. By July 4th of this year, far-left extremism had already been responsible for 5 terror attacks and plots. 5 terror attacks and plots in 7 months, in 6.5 months. Just this year alone. Almost one per month, Democrats trying to murder us, terrorize us, blow us up, kill our president, kill our officers, kill our ICE agents. They've been responsible for 5 terror attacks and plots, putting 2025, the Atlantic says, on pace to be the left's most violent year in more than 3 decades. The Democrats have shock troops, and their shock troops under St. George Floyd, blessed be his name, who died of a drug overdose, fentanyl, while in the custody of Minneapolis police. Their shock troops were evident and were put on display there. Their shock troops are evident and put on display in Antifa and Trantifa, and their shock troops are evident and on display now trying to murder our ICE agents and murder our president and murder Charlie Kirk. These are the shock troops. And you know why there are shock troops? Because the Democrats cannot win in the arena of ideas. Listen to me if you only remember one thing during this podcast today. The Democrats cannot win in the arena of ideas, and so they have to resort to trying to murder us, intimidate us, terrorize us to affect change because they lost the election, because the American public has rejected the Democrat Party. And so since they cannot win in the arena of ideas, since they are horribly unpopular, and I'm going to share with you, I got in my massive stack of stuff like Rush, the late, great Rush Limbaugh had, I have a massive stack of stuff. Here it is right here. Which party has a better plan? This is why the Democrats are terrorizing us, endorsing violence and murder against us, whether it be Charlie Kirk, Donald J. Trump, or ICE, or police officers. Quote, which party has a better plan? Crime, Republicans by 20 points. Immigration, Republicans by 18 points. Foreign conflicts, Republicans by 12 points. Economy, Republicans by 10 points. Corruption, Republicans by 6 points. Gun control, Republicans by 4 points. We're beating the freaking Dems on gun control now. How about that? Political extremism, Republicans by 4%. They are sending shock troops to kill us, intimidate us, bomb us, terrorize us, come after us, and murder our law enforcement officers who are doing their law-abiding duty to uphold law enforcement because of the laws that we have passed as a society. If you don't like the laws, change them. Since they can't change the laws, since they are losing in the arena of ideas, since they're not in control of any house of Congress right now or the presidency, they unleash their shock troops, they bless it, and they encourage them to hurt, kill, maim, and terrorize. That's what they're doing. In fact, let's listen to some audio of them. Here is a what you call a supercut montage of the Democrats literally saying, kill them, go after them.
This is not Germany. That's the SS and the Gestapo. This is the United States of America. Unmask yourselves.
As somebody who understands history, when I see ICE, I see slave patrols. Now, I never lived through the slave patrol period, but if you know the history of policing in this country, then you understand that they were born out of slave patrols.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons.
Secret police who are masked, who are intimidating, who are scaring people. These Gestapo-like tactics.
It does look like a Gestapo.
Hold on. If you are getting shot at, and by the way, this terrorist in Dallas shot over 20 bullets. He did not just shoot them into the Sally Port, which is where the ICE officers have the illegals in the truck and pull them in to unload them into the jail. He did not just shoot there. He shot over 20 bullets using the same rifle that Charlie Kirk's killer used, using the same ammo that Charlie Kirk's killer used. He shot into ICE offices. The ICE offices have bullets. There's pictures you can see in the news footage. There are bullets through windows where ICE officers sat at a desk. In fact, one of the ICE officers who's high up in the rank today had a press conference as well, or spoke at a press conference and said, that's the exact office where I started out at in Dallas. He said, and somebody that was in that desk today was underneath that desk hiding yesterday because those bullets went through the window. You could see it. Bullets went through other windows in offices where you could see an American flag with the glass, and the frame around it. It had bullet holes in it. This guy sprayed bullets all over the ICE building. This guy, and I'm going to read you details tonight from the Daily Mail. It's all over the Wall Street Journal, Fox News. But all these details that the FBI under Kash Patel and ICE are releasing, and it's horrifying. This guy planned this attack for a long time. He put a tremendous amount of effort into it. He followed the ICE apps that CNN told him, that Karen Bass and the Democrats tell him to follow so they can harm, kill, intimidate, or terrorize ICE agents. You sons of bleeps. These are ICE agents. I come from a multi-generational law enforcement family that I'm deeply proud of, and you know that if you're a regular listener or viewer. But these ICE officers, Kristi Noem earlier today, the DHS secretary, said that they are fathers, mothers, children, relatives, etc., and they get up and they go to work, they go to the grocery store, and all these in the same community where these people are and what their jobs are. And if you, this is me saying this now, if you attack ICE, you attack us. If you intimidate ICE, you intimidate us. If you want to hurt or harm or kill ICE, you're trying to hurt, harm, or kill us. The same thing, if you go after our cops, you're going after us. And you know what? Our ICE and our law enforcement, our police, they are our domestic military. It is very hard to find anybody who condemns or goes after our military. They play the game the Democrats do on that one. They still won't go after the military publicly, most of them. Some will lie, like Tim Walz about his service. But the police officers and ICE and federal officers are our domestic military. They are our domestic military. You go for them, you come for us. Listen to this sick son of a bleep. And by the way, you're going to hear about his radical leftist mom. She raised a terrorist. She's anti-gun. She follows the Stephen Colbert show, the Rachel Maddow show, George Takei show, all this stuff, all these crazed leftists who hate Trump and say vile things and stuff like that. She followed them all. She posted horrible things, attacking, which is her right to do it, but attacking Governor Abbott, Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Cornyn, about gun control and how they have bloodlust, and they're sitting there with drooling, watching this happening, and are smiling over it, and that because they love guns and they take blood money from guns, and how can they sleep at night, and they're sick. Well, you raised, ma'am, a leftist terrorist. You are a leftist. Her daughter is a total leftist who loves Beto Hussein O'Rourke, the fake Mexican, the cultural appropriator. So the daughter loves Beto O'Rourke. She's a radical leftist. The mom is a radical leftist who loves Colbert, Maddow, all this stuff, and follows Democrat socialists and Bernie Sanders. And her son was also raised as a leftist terrorist. Okay, well, not also. The two, but Mama, with your anti-gun screeds, you raised a terrorist who got a gun, who idolized the murder of Charlie Kirk, who went and tried to kill our ICE officers. Great job, Mama. You raised a terrorist. You raised a terrorist. He might as well have been saying, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Now that you got me worked up, you did this. I'm a victim. I'm really good at playing the victim. Ask my wife. If she was here, she'd laugh her butt off, or be like, yeah, levity, a little bit of levity. Here's what we got from this story in the Daily Mail. The terrorist had a handwritten note. Hopefully, this will give ICE agents real terror to think is there a sniper with AP armor piercing. Hopefully, this will give the ICE agents real terror to think, is there a sniper with AP rounds on that roof? He also searched for ICE tracking apps. He downloaded a document titled Dallas County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, which contained a list of DHS facilities. FBI Director Patel says there was a high degree of planning. This radical leftist terrorist, whom Mama raised as a great terrorist to try to kill us and to kill our ICE officers, he had a high degree of planning. He repeatedly searched for footage of the assassination of conservative actor Charlie Kirk in the days before. Charlie Kirk's terrorist murderer, who sits in a prison cell, according to the authorities, it's him, who sits in a prison cell, the gay, trans-loving, Trantifa, etc. Guy who sits in there, inspired the next murderer who shot up and meant to kill our ICE folks, but killed an illegal and wounded 2 others. This is a sickness. This is a vile sickness and hatred. This is left-wing terrorism. And the media can lie to everybody, but we're all seeing it. Those numbers I read to you about the Republicans winning tremendously across the board, practically in almost the entire arena of ideas. They cannot defeat us, so they want to kill us, terrorize us, or murder our leaders, and neuter us, because they cannot win. Remember that again. They cannot win. That's why they're doing this. It's that simple. If they could win, they wouldn't be doing this. It's a bad look, and they know it, but they have no other way. In their minds, they have no other way. We know that they could just do what we're doing and have their own version of it, but they don't want to do that. These are their shock troops. ICE says that the terrorist was tracking agents, apparently using those tracking apps. They said he used the apps designed to show agents locations, so he was using the app that CNN told him to use. Now, was it that one or another one? I don't know. But he was using it to try to kill ICE officers, and CNN did their job to make sure you know. I want to make sure I say this, I do this again. CNN wanted to make sure that you know, if you want to kill ICE agents or terrorize them or hurt them, there you go. Use that app. That was a big feature. And they're like, no, there's no big deal with it. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Let me continue on, though, with what was revealed today. Anyone who creates or distributes these apps, the ICE apps that track them, that are designed to spot, track, and locate ICE officers, are well aware of the dangers that they are exposing to law enforcement. It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target, and this is exactly what we saw happen in Dallas yesterday, says ICE today at a press conference. One agent here, this is the third attack on the ICE facilities in North Texas. One agent said, one official said, agents believe it's only a matter of time before an agent is killed. I just thought about it as I was getting ready for today's live stream, podcast, etc. I thought about it, and we're going to end up having to hear the bagpipes doing Amazing Grace for a dead agent because of the Democrats in the media. And I feel like I'm going to be deeply angered because we're sitting here and we already know it's happening. It's going to happen. Pray to God it will not happen. Pray hard. God is our protector. He is our provider. We want to hide under his wings. There is no better thing to do. I love my God. I'm totally flawed, but I love my God with all my heart. Now, let me play, what else do I got here for you? I got lots of stuff on this. NBC News wants to make sure that we terrorize, victimize, and target and hate ICE, so they lie. They were caught in a big-time report. I'm going to play this for you. This is NBC News. Let me go back. This is NBC News lying about a 5-year-old autistic illegal girl. Look at that. Here's their report, the original report. Agents held a 5-year-old autistic girl outside the Massachusetts home to pressure her father to surrender to authorities last week, according to the girl's family. That's a lie. And the reason why it's a lie is because we had our Homeland Security, Assistant Homeland Security Secretary, Tricia, what's her last name? I don't know if I have her audio in here. I sure better. I had it earlier, so I may have moved it around. I've been doing a lot of fill-ins lately. I think I have it right here. Hold on. Here it is. This is it. DHS Assistant Secretary of DHS, Tricia McLaughlin. She literally, NBC News reached out to her and said, hey, we have a report here that ICE grabbed a 5-year-old autistic girl, illegal, daughter of an illegal, and held her so that the illegal would come out. They held her like hostage. And she said this.
This is a disgusting smear. And I can tell you that reporter reached out to me specifically, and he told me that our ICE and agents were using this 5-year-old girl with autism as quote unquote bait to get her father out of this house. I said, hold up. There's no way this is true. Wait for us to give you the facts so you're not printing misinformation and these false smears that dehumanize and demonize our law enforcement. He went forward with the story. This individual who is a target of our law enforcement operation. He had past criminal convictions for domestic violence and strangulation. He was pulled over by our ICE law enforcement officers in a proper stop. He went off to flee from the vehicle, giving the double bird to our law enforcement and stranding his 5-year-old daughter. Our law enforcement conducted themselves with total professionalism. They stayed with that 5-year-old daughter to make sure she was okay until she was in proper care.
NBC News was told by her, let me check. There's no way what you're going to report is right. NBC News reporter, and here's this clown. Let me go back to this. This is the clown here. Let's see if the clown's name is on there. I don't know if it is, but it's some guy. You can see the community notes toward the bottom where people are already saying it's a lie. But then NBC News comes out and issues a retraction. Here it is. But nobody pays attention to the retraction. The story went out, and the message was told that ICE is kidnapping 5-year-old autistic kids out of the parents' arms and using them as leverage to get their parents to come out. This is why leftists are trying to murder our ICE agents. This is why the left, people are being radicalized to murder us and our ICE officers and politicians, Republicans, and Trump and all that. Because the media, bald-faced lies, they know it. They won't double-check because they want this to get out there to hurt ICE because they are not journalists. They are activists. And there's a real problem. There's a real problem in the pipeline that's been going on for probably, well, you know this and I know this, but I'm telling you, I have the privilege of what I do. I have the privilege of being in New York City. You probably know if you follow me a couple weeks ago, and I did my friend's morning show on 100 stations across the country, syndicated. From New York, and I go into a newsroom there. They were helping me out and stuff, and there's really good people there, and you can't tell their politics. They probably lean to the right, and if they don't, you don't know, because it doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, I've also the different places I go in my career, and the different things I do and that I've done in my career. There is a legion of young leftists who are going to our journalism schools, and they are literally being taught by the professors, and they literally believe they are going to make change. They're not there to just report the news straight up. They are there to make change. They are there to crush us. They are there to embarrass us, humiliate us, weaken us, harm us, intimidate us, everything. Because, again, they cannot win in the arena of ideas. Boy, I feel a little bit, down in the dumps when I do all this, but I'm just telling you how it is. I also have the terrorist's mother. This is particularly rich because she did a post. Governor Abbott, this is after Uvalde. Governor Abbott, Senator Cornyn, Senator Cruz, how does it make you feel that your action to open up gun laws is responsible for the killing of more than 21 people? Well, ma'am, I can twist it and turn it on. I can turn it onto you. Ma'am, how do you feel that you and your radical liberalism and leftism and your hatred of Trump and Republicans and of law enforcement, how does it feel that you raised a terrorist who murdered an illegal? Would you have felt better if he murdered an ICE officer? Are you proud? And then I'll read on what she says. I'm not twisting her words. I'm turning her words exactly against her to show this gross, disgusting hypocrisy. The threat is not on the right. It is on the left. The terrorism and the attacks are on the left. They are not on the right. Are from the left, not the right. She writes on, do you secretly sit in front of a TV and smile, a demented smile? Ma'am, did you sit with a demented smile watching your son and the police officers clean up the mess from homicides and dodge bullets? Did you sit there and watch the fallout of that with a smile? You must be proud, she says, of all the money that sits in your bank accounts from your gun lobby support. Ma'am, you must be proud watching your son get his resources together. He's a bum. He had a job picking weed. He got a felony possession of weed between a quarter ounce or a quarter pound or something and 5 pounds. I don't know. And he's a bum, but you raised him right to be a radical leftist terrorist, didn't you? She says, you must be proud of all the money that sits in your bank accounts. Was it worth it, Governor Abbott? How about you, senators? When you prioritize money over people, this is what you get. So, ma'am, was it worth it? Was it worth raising your child to be a radical leftist, law enforcement hater, ICE hater, and Trump hater? Was it worth it? Was it worth it raising a terrorist? Are you starting to think about maybe your values are warped and wrong? Do you think maybe your daughter being a massive Beto supporter and your son being a leftist, that you may have radicalized them? Have you ever thought about that lately? Do you watch Jimmy Kimmel and what's his name? She follows Stephen Colbert. Do you watch him with a smile? Here's who she follows from her social media post. A call to activism. The resistance. Ooh, I bet you Hillary likes that one. U.S. Democrat socialists. By the way, the terrorist who tried to kill our ICE officers, who then took his own life, voted last in the Democrat primaries in March of 2020. She also, the radical mom that raised the terrorist, also follows Robert Reich, as Rush used to say, from Clinton and Obama administrations. She follows the Rachel Maddow show, George Takei's Oh My, and the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, yes. And then she also put out a post, if we only have love, we can melt all the guns and give the new world to our daughters and sons. Well, ma'am, you raised a terrorist who tried to kill people and did kill an illegal. So what is that about if we only melted the guns? Your son went and got the gun that Charlie Kirk's killer, the same kind of gun Charlie Kirk's killer used, and the same kind of ammo. Your son hunted down ICE agents. You raised a terrorist. Now, by the way, it's not 2 or 3 attacks in Texas. It's not 2 or 3 terror attacks from the left in Texas. It's 4. First of all, if you recall, and this is freaking sick. This is all from July to right now. 4 terror attacks on our ICE agents. 4. 1, Border Patrol facility in McAllen at the border. July 7th, a man shot and injured a police officer who was, they were at an ICE office at the border. You know, they were at the border patrol office or whatever, right by the border. And a police officer showed up. He started shooting them to kill him. The authorities shot back and killed him. They later found weaponry, ammunition, and backpacks inside of his car. So that's 1 illegal, one radical leftist terrorist trying to murder ICE and police officers at Border Patrol facility, July 7th. The weekend of July 4th, 17 now. 17 Trantifa, radical leftist, socialist, Marxist, communists, including a Mexican national illegal in this group. They got, and this is from journalist Andy No, who does the best job in these matters. There now are 17 charged so far. A local police officer, here's what happened. They and you recall this, but listen, this was the Alvarado facility southwest of Dallas in the Metroplex. It's still in North Texas area. They showed up with rifles, AR-15 type rifles. They had fireworks. They had vandalism stuff like spray paint and stuff. They spray painted Ice Pig on the cars in the parking lot of ICE agents at this large facility that holds ICE prisoners, illegal prisoners. They then shot fireworks off. This is all designed to draw out ICE officers to kill them, to murder them, just like this guy just did 2 days ago or 1 day ago, whatever it was in Dallas. I've been doing too many fill-ins in Phoenix in the mornings. I got tomorrow I got Buffalo. It's great. I love it, but I have no idea which day is which. Well, when the ICE officers came out, they also didn't take the bait. They knew. They called 911. Alvarado police showed up. As soon as they showed up and got out of the car, one officer was shot right in the neck like Charlie Kirk. They shot over 20 rounds. They shot dozens of rounds to try to murder him. The gun jammed, and after the gun jammed, they fled. Thank God the Alvarado police officer survived, but there's been a number of arrests. So far, they've charged 17 Trantifa members. The FBI recovered 14 firearms, ammunition, body armor, and Antifa propaganda. Then we have, I'm not even done, last month, the third incident was a 36-year-old man, who approached the same offices where this terrorist showed up and shot 20-some-odd bullets into the ICE officers' facility there, ICE facility in Dallas, and killing an illegal and wounding 2 others. That same place a month ago, a 36-year-old man approached the field offices reporting entrance and claimed to have a bomb in his backpack. This is, by the way, where all the pro-illegals and radical leftists protest every day, and fake pastors. This 36-year-old man came up, approached the office. He allegedly showed a security officer what he described as a detonator strapped to his wrist, prompting a shelter-in-place order at the Dallas ICE facility. The officer immediately contacted 911. A bomb squad was called in. They charged him with making terroristic threats. Just a handful of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, the terror attack happened where this murderous leftist radicalized in the family of a woman who raised a radical terrorist and a radical sister. He showed up and he plotted and he tried to murder our ICE officers. 4 incidents in July, August, September. 4 incidences in 3 months in the state of Texas. The message is clear. Murder, murder, murder our officers. That's all they're trying to do. It's terrorism, and it's Democrat terrorism. I have a few more pieces of audio I could play for you. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, or maybe I've already played them. But let me also tell you about this. So Caroline Levitt tweeted this today, and I showed you the picture of ICE, how they were. I showed you the picture of CNN when they said use this app to go after target ICE and to show people where they are so they can be murdered. They didn't say that, but they were implying that. And so the headline, you see it right there. I wanted to do something to fight back this ICE phone app. This phone app alerts users to nearby ICE facilities. Now, Caroline Levitt posted this today. 3 months ago, CNN, 3 months ago, this is all part of the plan to get this out there, intimidate, terrorize, and kill. 3 months ago, CNN irresponsibly gave free publicity to an app that recklessly shares the location of ICE agents. Caroline Levitt says, it now has been revealed the leftist lunatic shooter who opened fire on the Dallas ICE facility was using one of these apps. The liberal media is complicit in the increased threats and violence against ICE. We see it every day. They are quick to write a fake story portraying ICE in a negative light, like NBC News that I told you, the lie about the 5-year-old autistic girl. So, they are quick to write a fake story portraying ICE in a negative light, often omitting the real facts of these cases, and they hardly ever write about the vicious criminals that ICE is arresting every day to make our country safer. Amen. Do you remember this sick SOB, the 2 sicko SOBs with the Mets? There was a Cubs-Mets game a couple days ago at the Mets Stadium, and the Mets announcers brought up the fact that, what's his name, Shaw, I'm not a sports guy, Matt Shaw, Cubs third baseman, I think, did not go to a game because the widow of Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, actually personally invited him to come. Because Matt Shaw was a friend of Charlie Kirk's. Matt Shaw received texts from Charlie Kirk after every game. Charlie Kirk hung out with him, and they were both evangelical Christians, as I am. And so when Erica Kirk asked you to come to her husband's funeral, when the widow asked you to come, you go. Guess what we find out today? These sick SOBs who obviously hate Charlie Kirk and Republicans and conservatives. The broadcaster who led the charge on this is Gary Cohen from the Mets, who missed it. Guess what we just found out today, though? He said it was weird that Cubs player Matt Shaw went to Charlie Kirk's funeral, but the same asshat missed a game earlier this year when his dog died. His dog died. So his dog died, he takes a day off. Matt Shaw's friend dies and is invited by the widow to come to the funeral, the memorial, and he thinks it's weird. What's weirder, your dog dying and taking the day off, or your friend inviting you because the wife asked you to come, the widow? What a sick bleep this guy is, huh? Last but not least, another radical leftist Democrat terrorist has just been arrested in Texas. So this is another incidence of terrorism. He has been arrested for allegedly planning to plow through a crowd of Charlie Kirk mourners at a Charlie Kirk vigil at UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio. A man has been arrested after authorities said he made social media threats hours before students and community members gathered in a vigil honoring for Charlie Kirk. 19-year-old man was charged with making a terroristic threat by intentionally and knowingly threatening to commit violence. He put on his Facebook page, "This is a disgrace," about the Charlie Kirk upcoming memorial on the UTSA campus. This is a disgrace, and I can tell you right now, as you know, they write, IMA, as in I'm going to. I'm going to make sure this won't be good nor comforting vigil. Y'all watch and see. I'm going to make this a movie, me and my truck. You'll see tomorrow. I just won't advise trying to stop a Ford 250 diesel truck. Show y'all how much Charlie really means. So his threat is that I'm going to do what the radical Islamist terrorists did in Nice, France, where they rented I think a box car or a truck, and the radical Islamist terrorists plowed through and just drove down the beach, running over 80 and murdering 80 innocent Parisians because he's a radical Islamic terrorist, just like this guy is a radical liberal Democrat terrorist. And I think that's